there's some podcast, somewhere out there that someone actually theorized that, yeah, no, Tony Stark's gonna be Victor Von Doom. Like someone said it like I think like a month and a half before, and I was like, I don't believe this, but I mean, if it happens, it happens, and lo and behold, I guess it happened. So I guess they knew something that we didn't.
Bro, they had to have some kind of insider, bro. That had to be.
Because it surprised everybody.
Yeah,
Like everyone,
no one was really
knew.
like.
Honestly, when I saw this, I got to look for it. It would take me forever to find out on my history, but I got to find it because in my mind, I was like, I don't know if this is possible, but lo and behold, yes, it was, and it did happen, and it's gonna happen.
Bro, that is so crazy. I'm just curious, man. Like,
I think like the headline for it was like, is Robert Downey Jr. gonna be Doctor Doom? And I was like, well, why would they do that? But I guess like you said, they had some insight, like they knew way prior to what was gonna happen.
Yeah, they had that on, man. I think even Kevin Feige, I think he knew months ago. I think this is all months ago, at least months ago, if not a year. I think basically after the Jonathan Majors incident, I think this is why or when they decided, okay, we got to do something. Is Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark, a Tony Stark variant, or Doctor Doom? So there's a popular fan theory suggests Robert Downey Jr. might return to the MCU as a Tony Stark variant, or even as Victor Von Doom. This theory explores the multiverse concept further, potentially bringing back a beloved character in a new, darker role that could set up a significant narrative twist and expand the MCU's multiverse storyline. It opens possibilities for crossovers and new alliances or conflicts, keeping audiences guessing about Marvel's next move.
Yep, that's exactly what they need to do. Keep that air of mystery.
Yeah.
You don't want it to make it too predictable.
Yeah.
You don't want to make it to seem like, okay, well, this is where they're going. Nope. You want to keep when you think that we got it figured out, you want to go a different route and keep us guessing, keep us out of the loop, keep us in the dark. That's how you're gonna do this. I say you're gonna make that money. Exactly a smart plan.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone has their theories. People are making videos about it. People are on Reddit talking about it, arguing on Facebook, Instagram. But that's very smart. I didn't think about it like that until you said it. Like, it's kind of like keeping people on the edge of their seats. Hey, that doesn't make sense. He's doing this. Why would they bring him back to do this? I thought Tony Stark was dead. Why would they bring this character back? Blah, blah, blah. No, he's coming back as Victor Von Doom, but that doesn't make sense. The
more mystery, the more it makes it better.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm actually excited about it. At first, it was kind of like, when we first talked about it, like I said, I didn't know about it until we talked about it. And then, because it happened that day we recorded.
I just found out a little bit before. I was like, hey, what is this? No, well, okay. I never got to say it too. I never got to say it though. There's some podcast, somewhere out there that someone actually theorized that, yeah, no, Tony Stark's going to be Victor Von Doom. Like someone said it like, I think like a month and a half before. And I was like, I don't believe this, but I mean, if it happens, it happens. And lo and behold, I guess it happened. So I guess they knew something that we didn't.
Bro, they had to have some kind of insider, bro. That had to be.
Because it surprised everybody.
Yeah, no one
knew.
Like,
honestly, when I saw this, I got to look for it. It would take me forever to find out on my history, but I got to find it because in my mind, I was like, I don't know if this is possible, but lo and behold, yes, it was, and it did happen, and it's gonna happen.
Bro, that is so crazy. I'm just curious, man. Like,
I think like the headline for it was like, is Robert Downey Jr. gonna be Doctor Doom? And I was like, well, why would they do that? But I guess like you said, they had some insight, like they knew way prior to what was gonna happen.
Yeah, they had that on, man. I think even Kevin Feige, I think he knew months ago. I think this is all months ago, at least months ago, if not a year. I think basically after the Jonathan Majors incident, I think this is why or when they decided, okay, we got to do something. because Kang was supposed to be the face of the MCU, going forward for a little bit. So
They literally had a movie called King Dynasty.
exactly. So I think around that time, around the verdict or wherever, when he was found guilty, that's a story for another day. Again, bullshit. But
Yeah,
whenever that happened, I think that's when they came up with this. Hey, we need to bring some star power back to the MCU. We need to get people talking again. We need to because controversy always gets people talking.
controversy, familiarity,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. I mean, why broke it? Why fix it if it ain't broke? And this is your go-to guy. This is the guy. This is the guy who's led the way since '08.
Almost 20 years, bro. That's crazy. What are your personal thoughts? Do you think he's going to be a variant of Tony Stark, or do you think he's going to be Victor Von Doom?
He's probably gonna be a variant of Tony Stark.
You think so?
I feel like that makes sense because now that we're introducing like the idea of variants and kind of like different parallels in the multiverse, it only makes sense to have a different version of Tony Stark as far as like him being, Doctor Doom,
taking a darker path.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna kind of get crowds kind of like more involved, like the audiences, the fans more involved, instead of just straight up just having Doctor Doom kind of like taking a different twist, a different turn in order to get people, motivated to go see this movie.
That makes sense. Yeah, because the Russo brothers introduced him. I don't know if it's the Russo brothers or Kevin Feige introduced him as Victor Von Doom. That was the confusing part.
Yeah,
I was just like, that what? I agree. I think what makes the most sense is him coming back as Tony Stark, a Tony Stark variant. But
yeah,
they could just be throwing us off right now.
And just a side note, Doomsday is a fire name for an Avengers movie.
Absolutely.
When you think you're bringing in, yeah, Doomsday is a fire name for Avengers movie.
Yeah, because what the first Avengers was what? Avengers Assemble? What was the first Avengers called?
Just the Avengers.
Just
the first
Avengers?
one was just the Avengers. Second one was Age of Ultron. Third one was Infinity
War and Endgame. Yeah. Doomsday and Secret Wars.
And you know what I'm gradually noticing, and I'm pretty sure everyone else has noticed that these Avengers movies seems like they're focusing more on the villain rather than like the actual team up of the heroes.
Yeah, because I think
like these ones that are coming out.
Yeah, because we focused on because Infinity War was the Thanos movie.
Yeah, but I'll say like half and half because we were getting like the team up. We didn't have Guardians of the Galaxy come together with any of like the already made Avengers yet, as well as like no, I think it was just pretty much Guardians of the Galaxy. I think everyone else had teamed up with some of the Avengers in some way, shape, or form other than Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's true because they didn't meet Thor until Infinity War.
Yeah,
I think Thor was to bridge the gap between them and the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy. But man, I was about to say something I literally forgot. But yeah, man, I think focusing on the villains makes sense because, like you said, we already familiar with most of these characters. But the first Avengers, that wouldn't make sense because we were already pretty much familiar with Loki. We were the more intriguing part of the story was bringing these group of heroes together. But I think once after we did that, because obviously Age of Ultron focused more on Ultron, Infinity War focused more on Thanos. So I will say Endgame focused more on Cap, Tony, Thor for the most part. And then so obviously Doomsday is going to be focused on Doom, and Secret Wars is going to be interesting. I wonder if they're going to have them on Battle World. That's a theory that's been going around. I think that would make the most sense.
Have them where?
It's called Battle World. Basically, where all the heroes get from different universes get brought into one area and they fight.
I knew there was a comic book about. Well,
there's
a comic book about it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm saying what is it? It's called like the Battle of Heroes or something. I don't know.
Probably.
I think I've got it.
Yeah.
I think I've got it somewhere laying around. That comic book with it.
Yeah. It also was in the Spider-Man TV show, the one that came out in the 90s. They had not full on Battle World, but they brought in Fantastic Four, I think Captain America, some of the X-Men. I think it was Storm. Basically, Spider-Man got to make his team. Yeah, it was in the Spider-Man show that came out in the 90s. It was pretty good. That was some of my favorite. I think it's like a 2 or 3 episode thing, but it's some of my favorite from that series. Yeah, he definitely picked Storm. I know Storm, Captain America, the Fantastic Four. I think he picked all of them. Or no, did he just pick the Thing? I don't remember, but yeah, they brought him to Battle World.
Yeah, that sounds legit.
It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see all these characters, bro. Like
Do a
this
little
is gonna
review.
be. This could possibly be bigger than Endgame. Like as far as how many characters are gonna be in this movie.
That I mean, and that's another thing. I've always wanted to see a lot more characters as far as like the big heroes when we talk about Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, the rest of the Avengers. I've always wanted to see like a major like focus on the main heroes.
The X-Men.
Oh shit, X-Men, of course.
Yeah, the X-Men gonna be in there. So it's gonna be a huge movie. They brought the brothers back for a reason because they showed time and time again that they could pull off bringing all these characters into one movie. They did it with Civil War, and they did it with Infinity War and Endgame. So it makes sense that they're coming back for it.
Like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it.